Play action. It's Darnold. They'll roll him out right. He may try and run for this. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Scott. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down now, Scott. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
On 1st down, Scott. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's Darnold. He rifles one that's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now out come the Jets. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards it.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Jets are able to make this a close game again. Caleb Sturgis now for the point after. And if you blinked, you probably missed that touchdown drive. It happened in a hurry.
I was just putting mustard on my hot dog, and all of a sudden he's in the end zone. I've got to do a better job of paying attention with this quick strike offense.
I thought you were going to tell your wife about the hot dogs in the booth thing.
I just did, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You did. Now it's Sturgis converted on the field goal. Now he'll send this one away on the kickoff. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, But the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Now a play fake, and it's locked. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And down he'll go at the 25. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out. Out of the gun, Luck. And he's got his man Hilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Hilton's first catch, good for a first down. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10. 46. They'll fake it. Now Luck. Man over the middle, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Luck going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Here's Mack. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Now it's Luck. Forced out to his left. Now a hit and Luck lost the football. It's out, and the Jets have recovered.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Oh, that is going to be a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
And now running right through it. And the Colts coming out now. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Back to throw. Luck. He goes full extension, and he's got it. That one goes for 24 yards.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. Now a carry from back. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
He completes it to Bryant. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From the red zone now. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Mack. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football. 2
of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll run with Mack, and he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here's Luck now on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd? And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Eric Ebron, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Darnold from the gun. And the pressure gets to him again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Back to throw, Darnold into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Matthias Farley, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
After the interception, it's Luck. Caught left side by Hilton. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback, but when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Play action. It's Luck. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's going to go down in the field of play. So they say no to the field goal try. And time has run out on this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On second down, Scott, and he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. He'll buy some time right. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. They go play action here on first down. He sets to fire deep. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
First play of the drive, excellent run. Just sets up wash, rinse, repeat. Another first down.
From the 50, it's Long. And he will find his man on the outside. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. to the air. Luck on second down. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. Luck able to find Hilton there for a Colt first down. Luck now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's Luck. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They come out here in the eye. On 3rd down, it's Hines. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. Extra point forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 23. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Now let's go! On 2nd and 10, Darnold. Flush to his right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
Another good run there, and now we're seeing an offense that's imposed its will on a defense. When we talk about that all the time, what does it really mean? It means that the guys on the offensive line, they feel like they can do whatever they want. They're in the huddle saying, run it again. Give us another chance to smack someone and create some space. On the defensive side of the ball, not only have they imposed their will against you, you're almost powerless to figure out what you're doing there, but you got to keep your spirit up at the same time, and they're taking that too.
To throw on 2nd down is Luck. And a pass complete to Ryan Graham. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down. Luck now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Luck. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. To throw is Luck. And it's caught. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Eric Ebron with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Colts have got it on cruise control. Extra point up and through. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And the Jets set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the change.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Jabal Sheard in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. A shotgun snap for Darnold. He's going to air one out. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. On 1st down, Darnold. He's going to sling this deep down. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be taken down inside Indy's 15-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Darnold from the red zone now. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Robbie Anderson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Sturgis adds the PAT, and that will get them one closer. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. Takes this one up past the 20 after he's able to make a man miss. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The Colts on third down. Can't be any better than a perfect 6 for 6. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now Luck. And he connects with Ebron. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. And they'll run it here. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On second down, here's Love. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Kane. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Here's Hines. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Luck now to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. That's 3 touchdown passes now for Andrew Luck. And the Colts just continue to pour it on. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And my goodness, another interception. Picked out by Matthias Farley. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
staying on the ground with Mack. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Love throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. The Colts on third down, they've been automatic. How about 8 for 8 in the game thus far? This will be 3rd and 5. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. They'll fake the handoff. Now Luck. It's complete to Grant. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
So out now come the Jets. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
On second down, Darnold throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he goes out right around the 39. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Darnold down to throw. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Sean Robinson in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. To throw on second down is Darnold. Throwing right, and that's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green.
On first down, it's Darnold. Now a desperation throw deep, and that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but This one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Sturgis for the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
And one of the whistles for timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Throwing now, Luck. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Locke. Now a hit, and Locke lost the football. It's out. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Colts, they do finish things out with a victory here in the final week, but the victories were few and far between as they'll end the year 5-11. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for the Jets, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And the playoffs will run through their house as they'll get the week off and get set to host a divisional round game in 2 weeks' time. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
My have an all-white rank. Couldn't hit if had ain't. Lanes can't call and you lame. You had it and you lost all the shine.